Civilization 6 is all about the early game. If you don't get more jacked than The Rock in the game's infancy stages, you're going to be in a bad situation, a worse predicament than black people in horror movies. This video will go through tips for Civ 6 or Civilization 6 for the early game, which is important because the early game is not only the most important, but also the hardest stage of the game. In any case, let me know down below any other tips you might have, as I do want to do a viewer-based tip video, so if you want to be on YouTube, go ahead and leave a good, interesting tip down below. The first tip is all about that production, baby, as the most important resource in the early game. Without any production, growing population with food is just useless, and you can't build anything in any kind of time. No districts, no builders, no units. You're essentially stuck. The holy site adjacency strat is a little risky, as nothing pleases Genghis Khan or Cyrus more than juicy cities defended by a couple dudes throwing rocks and someone who found a stick on the ground. But if you're in a safe position, go ahead and beeline astrology, get the Dance of the Aurora, Desert Folklore, or Sacred Path Pantheon, depending on if you started in Tundra, Desert, or Jungle tiles, and get the work ethic religious belief. You will get double-digit production yields, as +6 holy sites should be automatic, and they're doubled with the theology policy card, which will give you 12 production from just the holy site by the classical to late ancient era, and that should be the average. Not even jacked with percentage buffs from potential Ruhr Valleys or Kilwa-Kanazawa cities, you get an amazing amount of production in the early game, which can change everything, as with colonization and ancestral hall, you're ironically pumping out as many babies as religious families in real life. that's actually kind of funny. Finally, the best thing about this strat is the military rushes you can go for in the mid game, as once you get the percent production boost towards units with Agoge and the like, you get more production out of the policy card, because obviously a 50% increase of 12 is a lot better than a 50% increase of 6 or something, and that isn't even taking into account the Grandmaster's Chapel, which lets you rearm so fast and unexpectedly that you might as well change your first name to Adolf. Craftsmanship is one of the most slept on civics in the entire game, as everyone loves Code of Laws, early empire, political philosophy, but not many people really like craftsmanship. But with the right start and the right early units, you can spam out an army insanely fast. Skipping your first unit and immediately getting into monument, builder, and settler lets you boost craftsmanship, get more culture to get craftsmanship faster, and you're going to get another city. All the while, you're going to get the Agoge policy card, giving you a 50% boost to military units, which lets you build the warriors, slingers, and archers in 2 to 4 turns max in each city, due to all the builder charges giving you a couple mines, a quarry, not even to mention that Agoge itself is 50% increase, so 4 turns is probably on the high end, which is super fast. It lets you save production on the units you would have built in the immediate beginning of the game, obviously assuming there is no nearby threat. If you got barbarians or if you get a civ nearby, don't do this, but this is assuming you are in a safe position. Not building units and going for infrastructure ends up saving you production in the early game, as you're going to immediately start out super far ahead due to the early game infrastructure bonus, giving you more production out of that builder, giving you more culture out of the monument, and not using your production to get units. Meanwhile, once you get Agoge, you'll build the units 50% faster than you normally would, if that makes sense, leading to less expensive units. Obviously, this is a little risque. I don't even know why I said that. It wasn't even supposed to be a joke. Even though obviously this is a little risky, but it is risky of the fact that you are left defenseless if someone does decide to attack you about 20 turns in. Think of it like sprinting across a school zone naked in the middle of the night, except there's $1 million at the end, so it makes things worth it. You're either going to be one of the richest people alive, or you're going to be locked up for indecent exposure. As always, if you do enjoy the videos and my shitty-ass humor, leave a like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Closing in on 25,000 subs, and I can't appreciate you all enough. The next tip is something a lot of people don't do, myself included, and that is loyalty doesn't matter, because of the fact that there are so many ways to counter it. not including civs like Persia or the Ottomans, because that's just cheating at that point, frankly. If you're trying to forward settle to prevent the AI from jacking your land, or for settling on another continent for the Golden Age bonus, you can just settle in -6 to -8 loyalty locations, put in a governor, and use the diplomatic policy card from natural philosophy to give governors 2 extra loyalty, or the Limitani policy card with a garrisoned unit giving you another 2 extra loyalty on top of the loyalty the garrisoned unit immediately gives you. Add in a monument for another point in loyalty, and you're looking at up to plus 14 extra loyalty you can add to a city by the early classical era. Be careful, again, another risky strategy, because if the AI gets a golden age and you're stuck in a dark age, it could make those cities unsustainable, even with the plus 14 loyalty bonus, and you'll lose it to the AI, which is a big no-no, and frankly, depending on what you put into improving that city, probably a restart. But done right, especially when settler spamming, start settling the outer cities after your first 3 cities, obviously, and then fill everything in afterwards, giving you enough time with positive loyalty from the governors and policy cards, while you focus on getting the population up, as well as other cities to help with the loyalty. When done right, you'll end up with more land than you would normally, yet while crippling the AI, as it now has to rely on its brain processing power and perfect district placement to... I'm sorry. Are we kidding? Once you box in the AI, they're finished. Might not even be a civ at that point, just an extra city-state. This is a big one. No more risky or asterisk having tips. This is one you need. Build those damn archers. Holy goddamn crap. I don't care if Randy Orton broke into your house and said beeline celestial navigation, you get archery, alright? Archers are so damn broken, and after you get them, you can work on just getting promotions by attacking civs, barbarians, city-states, as you prepare swordsmen for a swordsman rush for that early war. Or, hey, use them to zone off enemies from your territory like I did in this game. Made sure Kublai Khan got his settler out of there, as if they do bring a settler towards your land, your hood, just kill it and jack that shit. I mean, if they're sending settlers your way, it's easy. I didn't end up doing it in this video, because they had walls in their city, and I didn't let the settler move out enough, because I was afraid it would forward settle me. But a lot of the times, you'll be able to 2-3 shot that warrior unit, take the settler, and boom, you get an extra settler while denying one for the enemy. Pretty much be a raiding caravan and pillage everything, traders even if you can, as when you're in a defensive position like this, you could just stand behind a river like I did and just get in 6 to 9 shots with 3 archers before the enemy closes the gap. The thing with archers is that they are so versatile, you can do almost anything and be successful with them. You want to go on the offensive, boom, they help you kill units. Defensive, boom, they help you kill units. You want to prevent enemies from settling near you, use them to immediately wipe out the enemy that has been linked up with the slinger. They're just so valuable, and with the right promotions, you can end up 2-shotting most units and 3 to 4-shotting swordsmen, letting you get some nice peace deals. I mean, I ended up taking out a warrior who was fortified on a hill with China's Great Wall defensive improvement, and I was able to just take him out with 5 archer shots max. I know most of these videos has me slobbing on Archer Knob, but it's for a reason. They are so strong, and they are by far the best unit in the game, and not beelining them, or at least getting them after you get astrology or mining/animal husbandry, should be a necessity, although I just forgot for a moment. The tech path is pretty easy, as with animal humpingry and being able to easily boost Archer, it's probably the easiest thing to beeline in the game, and they're pretty cheap to upgrade, not to mention decently cheap to build, especially if you use the Ago Gaze specialty policy card from before. In essence, just go for archery, no matter what Randy Orton tries to tell you. Now, I am about to get massacred down in the like and comment section, but I'm gonna say it, Petra is not that good. Now, before we start calling me the N-word in the comments down below and trying to form a goddamn uprising just to have me lynched, let's take a look at what the Petra brings and what its purpose is. It makes desert tiles better. giving all desert tiles not on floodplains or oases 2 food, 1 production, and 2 gold. That's a lot, but that's not the best tile at the end of the day. Early game, it's acceptable for sure, but you're not going to grow very fast with just 2 food tiles, not to mention that you can't improve these tiles, as not only as you won't be able to grow fast, you won't improve them, because unless you're Australia or something, which, yes, in that case, always go for the Petra Wonder. At the end of the day, late game 2, 1, 2 tiles are garbage, as without an improvement on flat deserts, there's limited production, no growth, and you can't even make use of the extra gold you get from those tiles, due to the fact you won't have a lot of population. Now, a string of clumped up desert hills? Run that! Yes! Go for the Petra, sacrifice your firstborn child if you have to, it's definitely worth it, as you can build mines on desert hills, changing the 2-2-2 tiles, as desert hills give 1 extra production when compared to regular desert tiles. You'll be able to get those juicy late game 2-5-2 tiles, add in Ruhr Valley and a couple trade routes. My goodness, I apologize in advance for wetting everyone's panties. But my point is, unless you have some great resources like copper or cattle or a great clump of hills, you're going to get, at best, a livable desert city, but not a very good one. And sometimes it is worth it to just settle somewhere else, as the Petra Wonder will need you to feed trade routes in that city, as desert tiles are absolute garbage, and in order to get the Petra, you're going to have to wait 30 to 40 turns while pumping every trade route you have in that city, and even buying builders to chop out nearby forests. Now, if you do have Australia or someone with a really good improvement like the Outback Station, I think Gilgamesh can also put his improvement on the desert tile. They make flat Petra tiles great, and even someone like Mali could definitely make use of a Petra in every game, because you'll have some hills to work on, and in all honesty, you want the gold more than you want the production anyway, and 2 gold is pretty decent on a Petra tile, I can't even lie about that. But as a general, all-encompassing rule, don't build the Petra unless it's the right Petra. If you do enjoy, leave a like and subscribe to help me out and not miss out on future content. And again, give me some tips down below, and if they're good enough, you might be featured in a future video. See you all in the next video. Peace.